Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are covering common questions when it comes to purchasing a house here in Houston, Texas. Everyone, my name is Sandra Paul. If you are new to my page, please click subscribe. That would mean the world to me. If you're back for some more information on the Houston market in general, please like and share this video. Again, today we are talking about common questions that are frequently asked when it comes to buying a house here in the Houston area. I thought it'd be the best way to answer these questions is to kind of walk you through the process. Maybe you're watching this and you're new to it. Who knows? Maybe this is your first go round, and that's okay. You need to know how to go about it, especially if you're thinking about making your next move, Houston, Texas. Step number one is to interview realtors. I know you're interviewing me right now, and that's okay, but I'd like the chance to get to know you as well. So as you interview realtors, you're going to want to see who's listening, who am I vibing with, who do I want as a part of my tribe, and that is how you pick your realtor. I would say shop at least two, give them a fair chance at becoming your trusted realtor here in Houston. But once you find your realtor, you'll be ready to move forward. Second thing is shopping lenders. It is so important to talk to a lender in the beginning because that's how you're going to know how much home you can afford here in the Houston area. I would hate for you to just jump out there and start looking at houses, get your hopes up, or lower your standards because that's what you think you can afford, and you never know. You could actually afford more. So the best thing to do in order to avoid that problem is talk to your lender first. Now, once you've gotten pre-approved, your lender has walked you through how much you can afford, and you're comfortable with that monthly mortgage, then it is time to go find your home. So step 3 and step 4 is starting your search and actually touring the homes. This is usually the most fun part for buyers. I mean, I would imagine, because now you're picking your home. You get to yes or no, this and that, and this is when, it really starts to feel real. Anyway, step 5 through step 10 is where the questions start to come in, and it's very common. Step 5 is to make your offer. Here in Houston, it does not cost you to make an offer. It's just formally put on a template so that we can present that to the seller in a nice, neat, organized, formal way. The seller is going to be looking at your offer, what you're requesting, what you're offering, how you're getting financed, and all those good things before they consider your offer. They may say, yes, I accept it, or they may say, no, we're countering back. Whatever it is, I'll be there to help you through that. Once y'all come to an agreement, they're going to sign off on that offer, and your journey is just getting started. Here in Houston, you can expect to close in 30 days at minimum. I mean, I've seen some close in 21 days. Just even 10, 14 days. It really depends on your lender. Now, traditionally, 30 days is what it takes to close here in Houston. So within those 30 days is when the ball starts rolling. Every week within those 30 days, something is going to be due from you, or something is going to be going on within the transaction. And I, as your realtor, I will be walking you through all of that. I'll be holding your hand, not physically, but I will be there holding your hand through each step, especially if it involves you making a decision. All right, so step number 1 is for you to make your earnest money and option fee deposit. This is due from you within the first 3 days of going under contract. This will allow you to buy an option period, which allows you to do your due diligence and figure out if you even want this home, right? That's why they call it an option period. And also, you're very serious about this purchase, so you're going to make a security deposit. Now, the good thing here in Houston is if you decide not to purchase this house, you have the right to opt out during your option period. That is why it's called an option period, because within that time, you're doing your home inspection. You're doing all sorts of different inspections on the house to even decide if you want the house, right? Let's say we learn that a few things are wrong here and there. That's when we negotiate during this time. If we cannot come to an agreement on repairs or any sort of credits for those repairs, you have the right to back out. The ball is still in your court. So let me say that again. Buyers have the right to opt out of this purchase, and with that, they can receive their earnest money deposit back. The only caveat is they do have to back out within their option period. So a standard option period can be anywhere between 3 to 7 days based off of the house. So generally, if we're talking about, for example, a $300,000 house, you can expect a $200 option fee for a 7-day period. Next thing is your inspection. Your inspection is something that is important to you, so it is a service that the buyer purchases. You want to budget for that. Here, it can cost around $400 to $600, depending on the size of the house, the age of the house, the location versus where your inspector is located. The good news for you is that I've already kind of spec'd out a list of trusted inspectors here in the Houston area that ranges from price. Of course, you gotta remember you're gonna get for what you pay for, so you wanna make sure that you get a really good inspector to go out and inspect your home because you don't wanna run into problems in the future. That is week number 1 of going under contract. You can breathe. Once you come in an agreement with the seller, you can now breathe and you're moving on to the next step. Guys, I want to encourage you to ask any questions below, comment below with any questions you may have. I will do my best to get to answer each and every one of them. The next thing on the list that will take between week 2 to week 3 is your appraisal. Your appraisal is simply a valuation of your property. The appraisal can come in and meet the price of the sales price. It can come in and be short from the sales price, or it could be, in best case scenarios, it could be more than what you're under contract for. The good news is, as the buyer, if the property does not meet the appraised value, we have the right to run it back to the seller and let them know simply, hey, can you drop your price, because this is the only way that the lender is going to let me purchase this, is if the price meets the appraisal price. In some cases, the sellers will not agree to that, right? We need to be prepared for these things. So if they don't agree to that, you as the buyer, you again have the right to back out of this purchase and you get your earnest money back because the property simply did not meet appraised value. Again, guys, if y'all have any questions, I know this can get confusing, so drop your questions below because I want to know how to make this more detailed for you and so that you're comfortable in making your next move. So if an appraisal comes back higher than what you're under contract for, that's even better for you because now your home is worth more than what you're actually buying it for. Who doesn't like a deal? Okay, so we all like deals, right? And that is a deal. Moving past appraisals, let's say the appraisal came back, it met value, you're at $300,000, the appraisal came back at $300,000, you're going to the closing table, we're getting excited, there's 1 week left, breathe. Okay, there's not much due from you at this time, but you should be aware that your lender at this point is probably going to pull your credit one more time just to make sure nothing has changed over the course of 21 to 30 days. Another thing your lender will probably do is verify employment, just to make sure you're still working the same job or you're still doing the same thing and making just as much as you were when you first got pre-approved. Once the lender has done that, then you, my friend, are moving to the closing table. Last thing we're going to do together is something called a final walkthrough. We're going to go and look at this home one more time just to make sure nothing is wrong with it, right? Also to make sure that if you requested any sort of repairs, that the repairs have been done properly. And also, this might be our first time seeing the home completely empty. So if you want to bring your tape measure with you, you want to start measuring for stuff, this is the time to do so. And lastly, guys, the closing table is when we go to the title company where they'll have all your closing documents sorted and prepped and ready for you to sign. I'll be there with you. We'll go through the numbers together and you'll be closing. You'll sign, you'll promise your lender you'll pay back the money over 30 years, and within 1 to 2 hours of signing, you should get your keys same day. Anyways, guys, in a quick jiffy, that is the home buying process. I hope that you got a lot from this video. If you have questions, again, you're encouraged to comment below. I appreciate you for staying all the way through, and I look forward to catching you on your next move.